We definitely have a clean slate activation taking place this weekend for the twins. There's rebirth, there's revelation, there is an opportunity to ground in the real union, and the divine masculine is in his magician archetype energy. He's not going to be waiting anymore. He is in this energy of activating. The past is being burned down if it hasn't been burnt down already. And he's going to rise from the ashes as a man who finally and fully knows his power. And he is about to use it. Divine Feminine, we got the Judgment card for you. And this is you. You are all done chasing. You are calling it in. You are anchored in your truth. You are lit. You are absolutely lit with that divine clarity. And now you are the mirror that awakens destiny itself in other people. And you know union is a choice. And I do believe that choice has already been made. So get ready, because the vision is becoming clear with the Three of Wands, and that sacred spark has been ignited. This isn't fantasy. This is future taking form in real time this weekend. Are you ready to walk the path you once only dreamed of? Because this weekend, destiny speaks. And this time, I think you're going to feel it in your bones. So hit that like button and let's get right into it. Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. It is Laura, and let's break down these astrological transits because we have some very pivotal energy at play this weekend as Saturn makes its ingress into Aries. And so we are at a karmic breaking point where an old cycle ends and we birth that new cycle. And so look at that chart up on the screen beside me. This is a cornerstone transit taking place this weekend, taking place today. This is a clean slate activation, and this is going to mean many different things for many of us on the twin flame journey. I am entering this stage of true divine surrender. I'm integrating this union from within, and it has been a big energy of the void for the last couple of days with Saturn at that 29th analytical degree in Pisces, and that 0 degrees in Aries. That is the sacred rebirth of the divine feminine purpose, this passion and this union. And union is going to look different for all of us. And so this really is the portal, I want to say, of stepping into mission over romance. And so you might feel like you're losing the connection, but this is where you actually no longer need this connection to be validated or for your mission to be validated. And so this cornerstone moment, it's not just this weekend. We're entering the next chapter or the next phase of the twin flame journey as a whole. And I do feel, especially for the divine masculine collective, this is going to be a rebirth unlike any other that they have gone through or experienced on this journey. And we do experience the journey in polar opposites, right? And so the divine feminine goes through the awakening process first. Many of us have been on the journey for years. It's been like 7 years for me since the recognition, since the activation, since that first encounter. And so right now, soul contracts are restructuring, but we do have to keep in mind, Saturn is going to be going retrograde in that early degree of Aries, and it is going to be dipping back into Pisces later this year. So right now we're in the completion or the end of all of these karmic timelines, all of these karmic cycles, and this is the initiation of the new divine cycle, right? We've got the world energy and we're going right into the Fool energy, and the masculine has to go through this rebirth in order to ground in responsibility, purpose, and taking that appropriate action. And so we are beginning to build something that is going to last, and you're going to feel that drive to move forward. I did go into depth of these energies and this transit in the members Thursday live. So go check out the membership side of the channel. I broke it down house by house, how this transit will be affecting you based on your rising sign. If that's something you're interested in, go join the membership. That content is up there forever. But I do feel this is not just about moving on. This is about building a life that truly reflects your values now, because we do have to purge and release all of the old distorted values, all of the old structures, right? We go through that tower moment and then we have to rebuild something solid. And so this is about building a life that's going to reflect who we have become after the transformative period on the journey. And so not who we had to be to survive. And so I do feel this is like the sacred flame being lit, because we do also have the sun in Gemini in a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. This is the energy of the Empress and the Three of Cups. This is the celebration of the divine feminine and all of the hard work that she has done. This is calling in that soul family, those new soul contracts. This is the birth of joy for the divine feminine. And so I do feel a lot of the divine feminines, they're radiant, they're magnetic, they're centered in that divine trust, in that surrender. Even if the energies are feeling flat or a little bit disheartening, this is a powerful, powerful turning point on the divine feminine's twin flame journey in these energies this weekend. And so I do feel all of these energies are supporting the divine feminine to hold that high vibrational frequency to make space for whatever is arriving next, whether it be the divine counterpart or a high vibration soulmate contract that will honor her mission. And yes, that is possible. Okay. We also have Mercury now in a conjunction to Uranus and Taurus. So it was 1 week ago last weekend where we had the sun conjunct Uranus, and now we've got the planet of communication in a conjunction to Uranus, the planet of surprises. So there could be unexpected communication. You could be receiving unexpected news. And this brought forward for me the energy of the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups. And so sudden, unexpected, new connections, new communication, shocking messages, and sacred activations. And all I got to say about that is expect the unexpected this weekend, because union energy is feeling very electric. And this can manifest as a lot of different things. It can manifest as sudden clarity about your counterpart, a reactivation after a long period of separation, or just a telepathic or energetic surge or message. I know for me, the telepathy and the energetic connection has gone completely dormant, completely quiet. It feels like the connection is done. The connection is gone for me. Because I do feel the divine masculine is not supposed to be our main focus. Our main focus is supposed to be mission. And sometimes spirit kind of comes in and they silence the telepathy. They silence this connection so the divine feminine can reclaim her entire energy. And the connection may return, the telepathy may return, it may not. But your peace and your path and your mission and this union does not depend on anyone but you, divine feminine, okay? And so collectively, there's going to be an electric spark of new love, or just a reinvigoration of you grounding in unconditional love for yourself in this reality. We're done with the fantasy. We're done with the illusions. We're done with the confusion. And there's going to be shocking truths, I feel, revealed over the coming days. The Fool, the World card, there's endings, there's beginnings, there's soul mission ignition, there's masculine reclamation. And so I do feel this is the divine spark of the rebirth taking place, where we are no longer going to be children of trauma. We are going to be creators of our divine mission. And I do feel this is where the divine masculine can return to the embodiment of Christ consciousness. That is what the Saturn energy is saying right now in this birthing portal. And so divine feminine really embody that Empress energy. This means being open to receiving, nurturing yourself, going through this expansion, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and walking away from anyone or anything that does not value you, even if that means walking away from your counterpart, okay? Because you're going to be receiving all kinds of intuitive waves of knowing, of validation through this celebratory energy being sparked within the collective. There's going to be a sense of my time is coming. You're going to feel it. I feel it. It's coming. Something's coming. And so you might just be asked to hold joy as that container, because that's what you are here to embody, and not holding it because of the divine masculine or holding it for the divine masculine. You are the light that anchors in the rebirth. And an affirmation for you should be, I honor what I've built, and I allow love to flow to me with grace and truth. right? Divine Masculine is at this resurrection point, I feel, this weekend. And he's going to have to emerge from the ashes. He's going to have to release avoidance, the pain, the karmic bindings. And I do feel he's feeling that pressure, right? He's got to choose the path, though. The divine can't force him to choose the path because we do have free will in this 3D reality. And so this is going to be a pressurized push. You know what it's like to give birth if you are a mother. And you go through those labor pains, and it's that final push into that portal of this rebirth onto the path of leadership, integrity, and aligned action. But not all divine masculines will choose that path. Some of them still need to learn some more karmic soul lessons here. And so for some of the divine masculines, this could very well look like releasing the karmic partnerships this weekend, making those bold life changes that have been avoided for a very long time, initiating that authentic communication with the divine feminine. But he's going to have to rise from the past, and he's going to have to lead with clarity, courage, and purpose, right? And then on Sunday, we do have Mercury entering into Gemini, and it is going to almost immediately sextile Saturn in Aries at that 0 degrees, 0 4. There's the Fool, the Emperor energy coming through. This is the divine masculine's throat chakra activation, the activation of commitment, the activation of communication, carrying that emotional weight. The lover's energy is going to be activated, and all of this is in preparation for the new moon taking place on Monday. And I will do an in-depth video about the new moon in Gemini. Look for it Monday morning, early Monday morning. But the vibe is clear. This is heart-aligned communication. This is conscious communication. Mercury in its home sign of Gemini is going to be fast. It's going to be intelligent. It's going to be honest speech. It's air energy. Air cuts through the bull crap, okay? And when we combine this with the energy of the Lover's card, this is a portal of sacred union through words, okay? It's through words. And so what's been left unspoken may now come through with a vengeance, not with emotion, but with precision and with intent. And so this is where the Fool meets the Emperor energy, where that raw truth meets divine order. And so the masculine is going to be pushed to speak that truth and to move with purpose. And he's going to have to be anchored in divine masculine maturity to do this. And it will require accountability and stepping into mission. And so this is kind of an opportunity for that union energy to finally stabilize if he chooses to activate his throat chakra and bring that cosmic voice back online. And it might be for the first time in a very long time where his words will finally meet his energy and match his energy. And so you're probably already receiving that confirmation, divine feminine, of the timeline shift. Conversations with strangers, dreams, visions, synchronicities, mirroring numbers, shared signs, etc., etc. But there's a deep inner click for you where you know, like, you are no longer waiting. You just know that a choice has already been made, especially once you start choosing yourself. And so this is likely the weekend where the divine masculine finds his voice. I do think he's already feeling the weight of his responsibilities and his past choices, and he's going to feel compelled to speak, and he might not even know why. But this is part of his initiation, and this is part of him claiming back his energy and claiming his sovereignty and claiming his path. And so this is going to begin to shift, right? Because he's going to have to stop reacting. He's going to have to stop avoiding, and he's going to have to start the process of divine embodiment. And so there's going to be a truth that the divine masculine has been withholding that is going to now have to be spoken to free himself in order to step into this mission. And so this weekend does mark the true rebirth in this masculine path for the Twin Flame Collective. And so he's not the savior, and we're not coming to save him. He's not coming to save us. But this is a path of choosing integrity, right? This is a path of leadership and divine action. And I do feel this is where we take one last breath connected to the old karmic timelines, old karmic stories. And it's not about waiting, divine feminine. It is about becoming. And so when you anchor into love and you mean it and you say it and you release from the pain and you let the counterpart go, that's when the next chapter begins right now this weekend. We're going through a clean slate. We're going through that sacred fire, and we're attaching to that soul truth. So let's break this down further with some cards. Let's see what the cards have to say. Before jumping in with the cards, I would like to quickly mention, if you would like to go further with a soulmate reading, a twin flame reading, a personal reading, please feel free to check out the links below. I kind of serve as a spiritual activator. I can pinpoint those karmic blockages. I can help you kind of activate if you're feeling stuck with your purpose and your mission. We can dig into that soul blueprint, get that activated, get you moving if you're feeling stuck. If you're not quite ready for that, I do have a free guide of the 15 basics of understanding your birth chart. Just comment free guide down below. I'd be more than happy to send you the link to download that free basic guide of understanding your birth chart. And I do also have a twin flame ebook, a 22-page twin flame ebook, and it breaks down the stages and the phases of the journey, because it's not just about romance, it is about mission. If you want to know more about the twin flame journey, if you're new to the path, comment twin flame book down below and I will send you that link. But let's jump into the cards and let's see what the cards have to say. Once again, we have a very rich and beautifully aligned spread connected to the weekend energies, and we are going to break it down layer by layer. As always, I will start with the oracle card messages, because this really is the foundational energies of the rest of the reading. And as always, we will jump in and talk about the divine masculine oracle card, and it is the card of the Thoth light codes, and it does say light initiation, great teacher awakening, and it does speak of divine magic. And so this definitely is the perfect reflection with the astrology alignment connected to Saturn entering into Aries at that 0-degree mark, which is the initiation of the divine masculine collective karmic death, along with the soul mission rebirth. And so Thoth represents sacred wisdom and the divine masculine aspect of our thoughts and our words, which are made manifest, okay? And so this definitely aligns with the Mercury sextile Saturn energy playing out this weekend, where I do feel the divine masculine's voice is awakening with integrity. And so I kind of feel the divine masculine is really undergoing that sacred activation where he is stepping into the energy of the magician, because the magician did come out along with the energy of the emperor. Now, the emperor card did not come out, but this is definitely connected to that past avoidance or the chaos. And this is all being alchemized this weekend into that conscious creation and responsibility is what I'm feeling on that card. And so divine feminine, we got the third eye activation card for you, and there is like a portal of energies that I feel you're walking through. It says brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing, and I do think this is connected to the sun in Gemini in that trine to Pluto in Aquarius, along with the Mercury conjunct Uranus energies. And so these transits are opening up visionary portals, especially if you are tuned in physically. Get ready to receive intuitive downloads, get ready to receive validations, validations connected to signs and synchronicities. And so you're basically being asked to hold that higher perspective, to trust your intuition, and to see the bigger picture of divine timing, because it all does come down to that divine timing. And so the combined energy is the Emerald Tablet activation. This is cosmic ordering. This is conscious manifesting. This is divine alchemy. This is definitely Saturn and Aries and Mercury and Gemini coming together. This is the manifestation of the divine contracts. This card is the complete embodiment of the World and the Fool transition, where all of the old contracts are collapsing, so these new soul missions can rise. And so together, the divine masculine and the feminine are here to come together consciously as a co-creative union to ground in these new earth union and relationship templates. Relationships that are no longer rooted in pain, that are no longer rooted in trauma bonds, but in clarity, choice, and sovereignty, okay? So the bottom of the deck, another initiation card. Lots of activations, lots of initiations. And this is the Shambhala initiation card. And it is asking you to retreat, to recharge, and to trust in the process, because there is Dharma playing out. And so trust in the pause before the purpose, okay? The stillness of Saturn at that 29th degree and Pisces is really demanding that, right? That stillness before that long-term grounding begins. And so things are going to be set into motion this weekend, and there might not be full forward action until after Saturn's retrograde and it goes back into Aries in several months' time. But this is where both of the counterparts begin the long-term grounding, okay? This is where I think both of the counterparts are being asked to retreat and to go inward and to stabilize their own inner masculine and feminine energies. And so this does match the Saturn's demand. Saturn does demand that sacred discipline. And as Saturn transited through Pisces, it was all about our spiritual discipline. And now it's all about discipline of self, right? Letting go of the loops, letting go of the noise in order to really hear that soul truth. And so I do feel there's a lot of energetic upgrades connected to this divine connection. There's going to be a lot of holy, higher, etherical experiences. And it's going to feel actually very miraculous, okay? So let's go further with the divine masculine tarot breakdown, because the first card out for him today, I call this the rebirth point, and the Two of Pentacles. Different imagery on these cards. Usually you see somebody juggling two pentacles, and juggling is a game. And so he's kind of walking a fine line here, I want to say, but we see all of these beautiful white butterflies, which is an indication of a rebirth point. The boat is empty, the waters are calm, and he's balancing. We do see the infinity symbol here on the jacket. With the red, I do feel there's root chakra energy coming through. And the card does speak of balance, prioritization, and playfulness. And so this really is the end of juggling, whether it's multiple lives, multiple identities. A lot of these divine masculines have multiple lives that they live, like they've got a double life that they lead. And so there is a need to let go of that fragmentation. And the Saturn and Aries energy, I feel, is forcing the divine masculine to choose a path. He can no longer have his foot in both worlds, right? It's this way or that way. And so the Magician card came out next, more energy of infinity. And I'm hearing, I love you for infinity. And the card does say manifestation, empowerment, and preparedness. This is the new path. I love it. It's a 1 card, which is new energy. And so this is what I want to say, pure Mercury activation, where the divine masculine is being called to initiate creation with focused intent. I think his power is coming back online. He has all of the tools, and the past no longer needs to define him. He has all of the tools he needs to create that new path. The High Priestess for me is the deep inner truth being activated, and it speaks of intuition, wisdom, and patience. Intuition and his inner knowing, I do feel, is rising. There's almost like an energy of enlightenment where he is aware of the deeper truth and he can't deny it any longer, right? And so once again, very much aligned with the Mercury conjunct Uranus energy, where there could be shocking insights, shocking downloads or messages, truth coming forward. And this is going to create a challenge that he's going to have to overcome with the 6 of Wands, because before the 6 of Wands is the 5 of Wands. And so that's the challenge, right? He could have all kinds of fear of judgment or conflict with external people, but there is success here. There is recognition. If the masculine can fully own his worth, his self-worth, and step into leadership, right? Saturn is saying, divine masculine, step up. This is the throne that you are being called to walk towards, right? This is the victory that you've been asking for, but it's going to require action. Divine Feminine, 7 of Wands. This is the frequency of joy that you are being asked to anchor in. And ironically, I think you're defending joy. And so this is you. This is the Empress energy. This is the Divine Feminine, protecting your radiance, protecting your light, resisting all of the lower vibrational energies that might be coming at you or might be trying to penetrate your high vibration. This is you trusting in divine timing. This is the teacher of the teachers card. And so you are becoming a spiritual teacher, a master teacher. And this is you anchoring in that light with the judgment card or the renewal card. And so this is reflection, self-evaluation, and rebirth. This is a massive confirmation for you, Divine Feminine, as your role as that divine mirror. When you come into balance, you are the mirror. You are the light that triggers the shadows in other people. And so you've probably moved through many cycles. And now this is really serving as that resonant call for union with other people. And so you're no longer chasing. You are just being. And so the energy of self loud for you. King of Cups is your guidance for empowerment. I love that the masculine energy came through for you. So it's like you're rooted in your Empress divine feminine mastery, and you do know how to access your inner masculine connected to that emotional mastery, right? So you're not going to be overly emotional. The King of Cups is compassionate, understanding, and trustworthy. So Spirit is asking you to trust in your emotional mastery, right? And this is compassion and discernment. We do still have to be discernment. That is our superpower, right? And so this weekend, I want to say, is you are centered on remaining grounded in your compassionate understanding. And I do feel the more grounded you become, the more likely it is that you will call in that grounded union. And then we did get the King of Pentacles, or the King of Earth, with the 10 of Air. And this, to me, I have to say, is like the shadow release, because it's time. there's almost like a temperance energy, right? To this 10 of Swords. We see like the temperance angel holding oh my goodness. I can't even think of the word. I'm drawing a complete blank, but it's divine time. There's endings, there's recovery, there's freedom, there's this energy of prosperous, successful generosity. And so you are releasing, I feel, this narrative like you have to do it all, right? You have to control it all, or that you have to wait in suffering. The worst is already over, and your value is inherent. You don't have to earn your value. You don't have to go through any more painful cycles. You're that sovereign queen at this point in time, and you're like, I'm no longer going to be the martyr. Nope, all done with martyrdom. And so let's break down the combined energy between the twins in the bottom row. We got the Seven of Cups. This, I feel, is that spark for union. Look at all the cups. They are ordered. They are structured. They are all structured there. And it looks like they are the embodiment of all of the chakra energies. And then we see 444. So there is divine protection. Sevens are a very divinely guided energy. And we did get the Seven of Swords out too as the second card. And so this is really the spark of the union. The shift begins with clarity, right? When we make sense of the confusion and the illusion, and we make a choice. We stop over analyzing. We stop procrastinating. And the illusion of having a lot of options, right? That's falling. We really don't have a lot of options because we're here to align with that vibrational frequency match. And so the sacred flame, the sacred union requires focus, not options, right? And so Saturn is saying, choose your path. Choose your path. Indecision is no longer going to serve either of the counterparts moving forward, especially connected to the soul mission activation. And then we get this Seven of Swords. There is a need to face the inner and the outer deceptions. There's a need to bring them into your awareness, to be cautious. Through this conscious awareness, we're doing shadow work, right? And so there's always going to be consequences for spiritually bypassing. And that's this Saturn energy saying you can't spiritually bypass anymore. You have to align to that inner truth with the outer actions that you are taking, right? And so the communication portal or the communion portal is the Five of Cups. And it's really highlighting the disappointment, the regret, and the need for forgiveness. The pain has to be spoken about. We can't repress it. We can't hold it in. The regret needs to be released. Forgiveness is key on the journey. And we don't forgive for the other person. We forgive for ourselves. And this is where I really feel Mercury and Gemini and the Lover's energy is activating that reconciliation and that healing and that clarity. Because the last two cards out, and it's interesting that 2 fell out for the feminine and 2 fell out for the combined energies for that last message. And so there is this energy of co-visioning the future. We get the 3 of Wands and the Temperance card. And so there are goals, expansion, vision. There's compromise, there's self-control, there's moderation, there's clearing of this karmic debt. And so there's integration of this union. Even if you can't fully see it in the physical, this really is beginning the long grounding in of that true union, right? Built on wisdom. And it's here, it's coming at us, right? And so there's this energy too, I want to say, of a certain alchemy going on here between the twins. And the bottom of the deck are really revealing a lot of truth. There's that walk of shame, I feel, right? When the truth comes out, it's painful. And sometimes it's humiliating. And oftentimes it's embarrassing. But the truth does bring us new inspiration. And so behind the scenes, there is truth being revealed. There's an adjustment happening. And there is communication coming. There's likely even a grounded offer here that is possible. Or a new beginning is going to be available now. We see this Ace of Pentacles. And it looks like we got a little page on the card, right? And so this is the beginning of the new opportunities coming into resources, coming into that abundance and saying yes to the new opportunity. But there's still like a holding back or a holding on. And I do feel there needs to be a release of control. And we see the 44, right? It is key 44 in the tarot. And so when we unlock our truth, then we do have to take that aligned action, that conscious action from a place of integrity, right? And the future is abundant. And the bottom of the deck is saying, yes, There is success here. There is recognition. It's time to find your enthusiasm again about the future, but you have to be rooted in reality, right? You can't be rooted in fantasy is a big message with the Sun card. And so there's illumination, there's enlightenment happening behind the scenes. And so let's talk about the closing messages with the unicorn deck, right? I did use the magic of the unicorn deck. And this is oneness. I pulled extra cards because of the extra energy going on this weekend. And so it is a Two of Cups energy. It is a 42 card. And so it does carry with it that Two of Cups energy. And so this is the mirroring energy of the Lover's energy being activated. So look for the commonality in humanity. Invoke that Lemurian light, because this is not about separation. This is about union. This is about union of everything, oneness, the conscious unity that we are here to ground in as twin flames, and to see the divine in each other and in everything, and to act from that place, right? We have to treat everything as divine until they see the divinity within themselves. And so the shower of blessings was the second card out. There is a Queen of Wands energy coming through, and I do remember on the cut in the tarot, the Queen of Wands was one of the cards on the cut, which I do feel is that divine feminine visionary leader. And so there could be an unexpected message. There could be an unexpected windfall of abundance, or just clarity flowing through. This is the karmic return, like the Saturn karmic return, or the Dharma, or the blessing coming forward for those that have held the light. And it does say to pay it forward, right? And lastly, we got the cosmic pearl. And so there is an Eight of Wands quality here. It's like the pearly gates are wide open. The heavenly gates are wide open to manifest our own heaven on earth. This is the Saturnian energy where we unlock our psychic gifts. We open up to these new soul contracts. We close out the karmic contracts, and we do step into our bigger mission. This is legacy level activation. Are you going to walk through the pearly gates? Are you going to cross over to the other side and embody this high frequency unity consciousness? Are you going to do that? Because underneath it all this weekend, we do have the caring community card, and I do feel like a Knight of Wands energy. I do feel a very quick turnover, and it does say participate and belong, enrich your life. And so underneath it all, this clean slate is not just about the spiritual union between two counterparts. This is about the spiritual ecosystem that the twins are meant to serve through, right? So enter the magic, I want to say. Live in the now, because right now we have a beautiful opportunity to draw in exactly what it is that we need, but we do have to take that step back to retreat and recharge and to trust in the process. So if you would like to go further with me with a personal reading, do feel free to check out the links below to my webpage. If you're not quite ready for a reading, perhaps you would like to join me over on the membership side of the channel, where I do go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I do dig into all 12 zodiacs. Like I said, at the beginning, I think it was at the beginning, or maybe it was yesterday's message, I can't remember. But I did dig into Saturn transiting through all of the houses. So if you are on the pathway of growth and you're looking to seek that guidance to expand beyond any stuckness, then go check out the membership side of the channel. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you all again next time.